Hanuma's mathematical adventures. It's not every Sunday morning it happens that Hanuma Vihari wakes up from a dream where he has touched the infinity. In his dream, he has reached to that ultimate level of mathematical exploration where he sees himself surrounded by numbers and moving sequences. Where no one has an absolute idea of what infinity is and where do we find that absolute end. Hanuma is standing at the center of that infinity loop, looking here and there and wondering about where to go because there is neither any start nor an end. Suddenly, from the center of where it's standing, a bright beam of light emerges parallel to him towards his head, and all of a sudden there is illumination everywhere, so bright that Hanuma has to close his eyes out of unavoidable strain. For the next few seconds, there is pin-drop silence. He is so frightened that his fear doesn't let him open his eyes. And then an announcement happens from the sky. With eyes still closed, Hanuma's ears are pierced with these words in a loud, husky voice. You are born to touch the heights, no constraints should limit you. Silence prevails, followed by darkness. Hanuma opened his eyes only to find again the darkness all around. He is still unaware that his dream is over and he was in the real world. It was thundering outside and electricity has collapsed in his house. It was 12 midnight. He estimated the distance between his bed and study table, stretched up his hands a bit in the dark, and grabbed the water jug kept in the table beside his bed. He gulped few sips of water and gave a recap to his dream. That's all weird, he concluded and slept again. He woke up the following sunshine and again started wondering about what bothered his subconscious last night. Still unavailable to calculate the mathematics behind his dream, he turned his head to the left side of the pillow only to find the book beside the pillow titled The Man Who Knew Infinity by Robert Kanigal, a book on biography of Indian mathematician Srinivas Ramanujan. He had just finished reading the book last night before sleeping. It was a gift to him by his father on his 12th birthday a week ago. Quite shocked, Hanuma was bound to think again. Was it some sort of omen or just the random gravy that my mind prepared out of ingredients from the book to feed my dream? Hanuma Vihari was fond of mathematics since a very tender age. Among his friends, he was famous as Atmanuj. He had got this name from his teacher Sri Ved Prakash, who named Hanuma as Atmanuj, meaning the soul of the mathematician Srinivas Ramanujan. He certainly deserved this association because his love for the subject was so deep that once, when he was 10 years age, he had locked himself in a room for one whole day in pursuit of disproving one of Ramanujan's theorems by himself. Provoked by his teacher, he was sure to prove that sum of all natural numbers till infinity is not equal to minus 1 by 12. He certainly couldn't disprove it on paper. However, he discovered something intriguing. He got to know that mere 10 years old human body can survive without food and water for 17 long hours, just with minor symptoms of fatigue and dehydration later. The only food he ate during those 17 long hours was the numbers and the arithmetic. His mouth was his fingers, seats were his plates, mind the stomach, and mathematics the food. He had somehow hacked his software for one day. After that infinity dream, Hanuma's mind was at complete confusion. He was constantly wondering if his mathematical obsession can be served for any greater purpose to him and humanity. He was just decoding the things from his previous night in his brain, so lost to thoughts that he had totally forgotten that he was amid the algebra class in his school with his schoolmates and the teacher. Seeing Hanuma wandering in his own thoughts, his teacher Ved Prakash, the one who named Hanuma as Atmanuj, called him. Hanuma, what calculations are you performing in your mind? Nothing, sir, Hanuma answered in an agitated tone. After he was disturbed by his teacher, he could neither focus on his dream nor at his class. After school, he thought of discussing his dilemma with his teacher Ved Prakash. He eagerly waited for the final bell to ring. After everyone emptied the school surrounding, Hanuma directed himself towards staff room where he found his teacher sitting alone in the big room on his chair, holding some mathematics novel, wearing age-old specs, eyeing deeply on the pages. Ved Prakash was a bookworm since his childhood. After he came into mathematics, he was deeply engraved with mathematical literature. One could only find him reading, thinking, or reading something in his free time. Hanuma silently reached near his chair and called him for a softer tone. Ved, sir? Yes, beta. Ved Prakash turned his head from his book towards Hanuma's voice to find a young kid with his face eager to ask something to his teacher. He bookmarked and closed the book he was reading and kept it aside. Sir, something is troubling my mind all this day, Hanuma said in a surrendered voice and explained him even the minute details of the dream and the constant confusing and annoying him. He was very much convinced that he will surely get relieved by his teacher, and he wasn't wrong. Ved Prakash was stunned a little about his curiosity shown by him. He thought that Hanuma had the option to completely ignore the call of his dream, considering it as a mere subconscious game. Most of the kids do the same, but this little child stood. Sri Ved Prakash had to show him the way. After a few minutes of silence, the teacher spoke. Listen, son, mathematics isn't a theory for mugging up. Unlike other disciplines in which you are expected to follow certain definitions given by others, where there is less room for discovery, mathematics lets you ride the roller coaster wave up and down, marking your own unique way of solving problems. Allow me to show you an analogy. If you are asked, how do you define a planet? You simply say, a heavenly body that revolves around the sun in the solar system. It is predefined by some intellectuals, and you are supposed to follow that definition, which may or may not fit well into your imagination. However, if you are asked to find the area of triangle with given dimensions, then you are asked for a mathematical truth. And to find it, you need not to follow any predefined statements. Of course, predefined methods are there, but there is no need to use them necessarily. Heron did not use the formula of half into base into height to find the area of triangle. He invented his unique Heron's formula to find the same truth. You too can invent Hanuma's theorem or formula to find some mathematical truth in near future. Who knows? Mathematical truths are unique. Only the approaches vary, and the most efficient approach is universally accepted. Talking about your dream, consider it as a signal that tells you have the ability to explore some hidden truth in mathematics. If not hidden, you can always find efficient approaches to get the truths that have already been discovered by mathematicians before you. Stay focused and don't quit. Dreams never lie. That was the kick that Hanuma needed. He has now become determined that no matter what, he will never leave mathematics. Hanuma was just about to leave after acknowledging his teacher when Ved called him back. Hanuma, ji sir, did you actually say infinity? Yes, sir. Ved repeated his last sentence. Dreams never lie. Work hard, and no constraints should limit you. Hanuma was determined to reach infinity someday.